Hello everyone and welcome to this morning's live webinar. We're doing a little bit of training for hosts, landlords, property investors, anyone interested in service accommodation and Airbnb. We are going live. We're going live across Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, somewhere else, TikTok, all of the good places, Facebook as well. So thank you for joining us. Guys, if you are here joining us live, then you can ask questions as we go. I'm going to give a little brief introduction to myself for those that don't know me, and then we're going to get into the content. This is all about selecting a service accommodation managing agent, and do you actually need one as well? So we're going to rattle through here. Guys, you can ask questions live. If you happen to be watching us on one of the replays, or you've missed today's live and did not get your question answered, then I'll put a little banner across the bottom. You can email us at hosts@pillowpartners.co.uk, and on the next one, we'll do it and we'll answer your questions. So we're going to jump straight into the content, guys. I'm going to get through this as fast as possible. I want to share my experience with you back from, I think, 1998, when I was first selecting a managing agent back before I had a management agency. So we're live, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and maybe TikTok, depends what we've set up. So we're going to jump straight into the content, guys. If you're watching live, please ask some questions as we go. Say hi in the comments if you want as well. And if you've got any questions, I'll bring them onto screen as we go. If you happen to be one of the Pillow team or any of our hosts, put your comments in and I'll bring them on screen, say hi and give you a shout out. So let's jump in. How to select a service accommodation management agent. Just double checking you're in the right place. So who is this for? Three main groups of people here, guys. You are starting off your service accommodation Airbnb journey, and you're looking for a managing agent from the very get-go. Now, we're going to give you some resources and tools and lots of questions to ask to select the right business partner for you, but you're starting off and you're just going to pass it to an agent straight away. The next group, you're currently self-managing and you're thinking, for whatever reason, I'm going to pass this to an agent. You're looking after your own property investment and you're going to pass it to an agent. The next one here, maybe you've got an agent, you've signed up with them by default and you are looking to switch. You might have been with your agent a long time. I think of the 20 years I've had this management agency, some of our longest term clients have been with us 18 years. So lots of clients been with us as long as 18 years where we've looked after their property. So it could be quite a while since you've selected a management agent. Things have definitely changed in that world. So let's jump into the content here, guys. We're going to be giving a few things away here for free. So as an compliment, to go along with this webinar, we're going to be giving you a free editable PDF. Just email us at hosts@pillowpartners.co.uk. This is something I got with all the stuff that's in this webinar here, guys, condensed into an editable PDF. So you can download that. We'll send you over by email and you can fill this out. So you can compare three different agents. We'll tell you the questions to ask. They're in this PDF checklist as well, but it's going to just keep all your information in one place, guys. Should you be looking to get an agent, you can fill this out. It's editable online. We'll send you that over. Also, we've got lots of property managers across the UK. We use this little map here as a representation. If you do have any questions, we'll link you up with one of our local property managers and they'll just give you a free 20-minute chat. And to be clear, guys, this isn't a sales pitch for my business. I want to bring my experience. It's a question I get asked a lot from various communities. So I want to do this so that it's out there live answering questions, and I've got the recording because selecting a management agent is one of the biggest things you can do. It's your biggest asset, and I want to help people get that right. So who am I to be chatting to you about this? Who am I to be giving advice to people selecting management agents? I have had my own management agent for over 20 years. We were 20 years old, last November. So 20 years old. This is my third decade in property management. I bought my first buy-to-let, picked my first agent back in 1998, I believe, a long, long time ago, before social media and before mobile phones were even a thing. So I was communicating with my agent via landline. So we have been in business a long time. At our peak, we probably managed about 1,000 units across the portfolio across the UK. So large business, lots of experience. We've had lots of clients over those last 20 years. We can't see it here, but in the podcast studio, the recording studio, is our shelf of awards. So a multi-award winning business. I don't know, 20, 30, I've got lots. But we've been doing this a long time. And I've got a team of local property managers across the UK. So if there's anything I can't help you with at that high level, the team can always help you decide on a local level. We have one property manager per area. They look after our host property with the full support of us at Pillow and everything we've built over the last 20 years. So on to the content, guys. Your short-term rental property is likely your biggest asset. So passing it to an agent is going to take a lot of trust. We're going to give it to a stranger, somebody we've never met before. And essentially, we're going to be giving our biggest income asset to somebody and putting our trust into them that they're going to do a good job. We want to get this right. It isn't just like a buy-to-let property, guys, where we bang it on right, we've got a tenant, I get a tenant. This is short-term rental. There's so many working parts. And this workshop here is about finding a business partner. It's not a sales pitch. This is about finding the right business partner for you. And there's a reason I say business partner. I think your short-term rental property manager shouldn't be viewed as a property management company. It shouldn't be them and us. It should be your business partner. Essentially, you give your property manager the property. You have the property. They do all the work. Our value proposition at Pillow, for example, is maximise income, reduce stress, and free up time. We are here to help our hosts build hands-off businesses. So we view ourselves as business partners. My property managers across the UK are all our business partners at Pillow, and their hosts are their business partners. It's a 50-50 joint venture partnership. It's not an owner and a management agent. So I want you to look at your property manager, whoever that may be, as your business partner. They're there to maximise your income, reduce your stress and free up your time if they're giving a hands-off service. If they're simply getting you bookings and maximising your income, then they're there to get you good quality guests. So that relationship there should never be adversarial, should never be in conflict. It should be they're your business partners. They're there for your best interests, and you're being the best host that you can be to facilitate them getting you the most amount of money, the best guests, and therefore the most profit. So the word business partners in blue, because it's super important to me. And this workshop isn't about us convincing you to use Pillow Partners as your managing agent. Pick the person that is right for you. I'm just doing this because this is my life. This is what I do. We've been in the business 20 years and want to share the knowledge. We don't operate in all areas. And again, if you're reaching out to us and we don't operate in your area, we will always refer on someone else. We don't say competitors because we like to work with everyone in the industry. We like to be friends and pass referrals where we can. So guys, if we can help you in any way, we will, but this is not about convincing you. So it's not a sales pitch, it's impartial, and we'll give you some advice and the questions to ask, the red flags to avoid, and the overall tips on how to pick the best business partner for you. There's a little section at the end, guys. I wanted to put this up because not everybody needs a management agent. Only use an agent if it is a good fit for you, if they can deliver more value than the fees that they charge. There's some cheap agents out there. There's some expensive agents. There's some people in the middle. A good managing agent shouldn't be seen as a cost. It's an investment. They should make you more money back than they cost you. So if it's 10, 15, 20%, doesn't matter what that percentage is of the money that they're taking as a commission. They should be there freeing up all your time, taking the stress away, getting you more money than doing it yourself. If you love it and you enjoy it, you can manage it yourself. We'll cover that at the end, guys, because lots of people think they need an agent, but maybe they're better self-managing. That's the final section in today's workshop. Right, some questions to ask agents, guys. These are things that link to the free editable workbook. Again, if you want a copy of that, just email us host@pillowpartners.co.uk. Hopefully that is showing across the bottom of the screen. If you have any questions as we go, comments, if you're any of my team, put them into the chat, wherever you may be, and I can bring it up live. So let's have a look at the questions I think you should be asking agents. This is to find the best management agent for you. Question number one is, how long have you been in the industry? We really want to be business partnering with people that have lots of experience. Guys, if you're when you get an operation done or some cosmetic surgery, a heart transplant. You don't want someone that's just done a 2-day course on it, that's just been in the industry for a short period of time. That's not to say there's not superstars with a lot of passion, but I've been in the industry 20 days and I learned 20 years, not 20 days. And every day I learn something new. You think after 20 years, I would know everything. It changes, it evolves. We're learning every single day. We deal with a lot of things across a lot of properties. Every day is a learning curve for us as well, especially with the advances in technology, guest trends we were talking about with the team this morning. So being in that industry a long time, these questions here are not yes or no. It's not to prohibit you using these agents, guys, that you're chatting to. It's for you to make an overall informed decision. If you look back to the agent comparison guide, you can measure 3 different agents. We're balancing all factors here, so they're not individual things, but actually asking them how long have they been in the industry is a good indicator. Next, when did you start managing properties for others? So there's a distinction here. Number one, when were they in the industry? How long have they been in the industry? How long have they been doing it? So for an example, to see the difference, I started in the industry, well, as a landlord, I was 1997, but as a doing service accommodation, it was 2002. But I didn't set my own business up until 2006, 20 years ago. So some people have been in the industry a long time, having their own Airbnb units, having their own service accommodation units, but there's a massive jump between managing your own units and managing for others. So mixing these 2 questions, how long have you been in the industry? Well, that could be 10 years, but actually they've only been managing other people's properties on behalf of clients for 6 months. So there's a difference. Easy to be, I don't mean bamboozled, but say, yeah, I've been in the industry lots of years. But actually, how long have they been a managing agent for other people? Because there's a massive gap. Often underestimated, guys. So take that into consideration. Number 1, where's your office located? Can I visit? It doesn't matter if they have an office or not really, but you want to factor this in. Can they come and meet the team? Are there staff of their team there? Can you come and see them? Is it online? Is it remote? Is it a shell company? But where is your office and can I come and see you? Are you based locally? Can we come and meet? Again, just double checking, as they've been there for a long time. It's one part of the overall matrix. So can you go and meet your local property manager? Can you see their office? How many employees are in the company? So one of the things about managing your properties for short-term rental is that there's lots of work out of hours. We need to be on the algorithms for the Airbnb, managing guest inquiries, getting back to them. Otherwise, Airbnb punishes. We say this because Airbnb comes to our office. Our account manager flies up from London to come and speak to us and the staff. The team have got calls, I think, at 12 o'clock. And the team have calls with one of the online travel agents. So they're there physically in the UK having calls with people. But how many employees are in the company? Is that a one-man band? That's not a bad thing, guys. I started 20 odd years ago as a one-man band. This isn't a bad thing, guys, but you need to measure this. Who's taking those calls? Is it all Filipino VAs? Again, not a bad thing, guys. But who's managing your property? Who's going to be answering your guest calls? Who's going to be answering your calls? Do they have a team in the UK? Where are they based and how many people are there overall to support your business? Again, it's to be taken as part of a larger thing. Now, here's a question. Here's a thing from Emma, one of our property managers. Going back to the last thing about how long did you start managing properties for others? Emma, our property manager, Glasgow and Renfrew. Amazing what I've learned in 10 years managing for other, time in the industry for 20 years. So there's a good example of that. Emma has been in the property management industry, working for a housing association and doing these things for 25 years, but actually only been managing properties for 10 years. I say only managing properties for 10 years. That's a decade. That is a long time and that is a lot of experience. So thanks for that. If you want to book in a call with one of our team, Emma, email hosts and you get a 20-minute consultation. Again, Scottish licensing, totally different to south of the border. So guys, you need people with experience that have done lots of this, especially when we're dealing with licensing in Scotland. Thank you for that. Right, back to where we were. How many employees? Good. I'm going to rattle through this, guys, because your time is valuable. How many properties do you manage? Guys, we used to manage like 1,000 properties, and I thought that was a good big number. That was a negative thing for us because a lot of the properties were bad, and our service standards slid over those years because we just had too many bad properties. So we need to take that as part of a bigger picture. But how many properties do they manage is the first of a two-part question. Are they experienced? Have they scaled up? Have they managed a large portfolio before? Again, doesn't really matter how many they manage because it's about you and your individual circumstances, but we're managing this question here with the next one. How many of those properties are yours? So there's a reason for this, and we'll come to it later on, but many people would say, well, I manage 20 properties, but actually 15 are their own properties. So when we're selecting an agent, do we want to be picking an agent that doesn't have any properties, any conflict of interest at all, zero? Or are we picking an agent that could say, well, I've been in the industry all these years, I've got all these properties, but that's their own portfolio, guys. So if they've got managing 20 properties in their portfolio, a nice number, but 15 are theirs, well, we need to start thinking, is that a good thing? Is there conflicts of interest? Are these guest bookings going to come in? They're big corporates. Are they going to go to their own properties where they get 100% of the money, or are they going to take 10% because of the 10% management fees and give you those bookings? So we need to take that into consideration. How many properties do they currently manage? We can base that against the staff, and how many of their properties is the large majority of the portfolio their own properties. It's interesting to start discovering this. Is property management your only business? So this is something quite interesting. Lots of people doing various different things. Lots of SA management companies, lots of Airbnb management companies. There's more popped up in the last few years since lockdown, and in the 20 years of doing business, there's more popped up in the last 3 years than the previous 17. There's lots of people starting these businesses, but it's in conjunction with other things. That could be cleaning companies, that could be training companies, that could be all of these other synergistic businesses. It's not a bad thing, guys, but it may not be a good thing. Is property management a sideline? Is it something else to do? Rent-to-rent sourcing, to having a training business, to having a cleaning business, to doing other things as well? Is this just an add-on as the full-time focus? Again, that's up to you to make that decision, whether that is a good or a bad thing. So question number 7. Question number 8 is, what softwares do you use, guys? So you want to know, and you want to build up the experience. What pricing software? Do they have all of these things in place? PMS is property management software. If you've used you won't know these terms if you're new to the market or you've used an agent before, because they'll do this automatically. But what property management software do they use? What dynamic pricing software do they use? Channel management software, guest verification software, credit cards, all of the things that run the business behind the scenes. Now, some agents may not want to tell you their whole tech stack or be a little bit cautious about that, and that's totally fine. But guys, sometimes it takes a long time to get that good quality software, and I speak for ourselves. These different things, when you stack them up, all the different plugins to manage property, starts costing property managers a lot of money per unit. So it took us a long time to be able to afford the best stuff. We are there now. I like to think we use the world's best software, but using cheap discounted stuff that doesn't integrate well with Airbnb and Booking.com can be detrimental to your listing. So ask what property management software they use. Might not mean anything to you, but just make sure they've got the full tech stack for everything that you need, including dynamic pricing software or everything you think you need as well. So get a feel for what technology they have. Do they have everything in place that you need to effectively run your business? If you're switching agents, you don't want to be taking a step back. If you have these nice technology and software solutions in place and then you're using an agent that doesn't, you definitely don't want to be taking a step back. If you're self-managing, you want to be accelerating by getting your tech stack supercharged. That's what you want to do. You don't want to ever take a step back. Number 10, do you have 24/7 guest support? As we said, we had Kate up here from Airbnb in our office. They manage, they monitor how quickly we get back to guests. Can't leave messages unread. We need to be getting bookings. We had a message with Lanarkshire property manager Tommy about getting a few hours can lose you a booking here. So we need to get back to people very, very quickly in the out of hours team. Or again, if your agent is doing it themselves, well, if you've got guests from other countries, who's managing those inquiries overnight? What happens? We've just hit a bank holiday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, long bank holiday. What happens if they're off? If it's one person managing the business and they don't have any team with a mobile, I did it for many years at the start, took the emergency phone out of ours phone. They just never get time off. They're never sick. They don't have things to do. They're never on the phone to booking.com for 40 minutes. They'll never take holidays. They working all bank holidays, evenings, weekends, Christmas, New Year. It's not realistic, guys. So we need to have a team to support your guests who need these inquiries done. So do they have that in place? And where are they based? Are they English speaking? Is English their first language? Do they understand the cultures? Have they been to the properties? Lots of things to consider. How do you get direct bookings? Your property might not necessarily need direct bookings. It might run very, very well. Again, if people are using companies, let's say sites and cottages.com, they'll all be in there as within those bookings and getting commissions taken away. But do your bookings come in from Airbnb and booking.com exclusively, adding 18% to these things, or do they get direct bookings? Emma, who commented earlier, and we'll be getting up early on tomorrow, Wednesday morning, to go to networking. She's in as a management agent. She's going to try and get direct bookings. We think of Danny in Surrey. She'll be there trying to get bookings because she manages properties next to Heathrow. So always trying to get long-term contractor bookings in. Number one, these direct bookings tend to be longer. They don't have any commission attached. Not necessarily a bad thing if your agent doesn't have these things in place, but just ask them, do you get direct bookings? What percentage might that be? It's different for every property. Your property might not get long-term contractor bookings because it's set up for the holiday-let market. So lots of things to consider. This is just one part of the overall picture you're starting to build. And when we stack all these questions up and we can compare the three agents, you're starting to get a picture of who's the best fit for you. Question number 12, who exactly will be managing my property? A super important one. Is there a team of VAs that are managing stuff overseas? Is the property management been done now by AI and chatbots? That's quite interesting. Lots of things happening around that space. Will your property manager physically see your property? Are they based within 30 minutes of there? Who's going to be dealing with you as a host by phone and email? A nice example for us, all of our team across the UK, hosts get their direct phone number and an email. So the person managing your property is your business partner. You get their email address, a phone number, a direct line. You can come through Pillow HQ should you want to, but that's your own property manager. So are you going to need to phone call centres? Who's going to be looking after your biggest asset here, guys? And ask the question, do you get a dedicated person or is it all just lumped in? And where did you get your training and your experience? So this is a nice thing. Lots of people setting up businesses, but how did they come to be in business? Some you'll see have been going for a long while. If I bring Emma's comment back up, which is quite nice. I should have known that this question was coming up. Been learning 10 years managing for others with Pillow Partners. She got an experience. So Emma has been she worked in hotels, Emma worked for housing associations, worked for management agents, worked in hospitality, lots of different things. So 25 years of industry experience, but she learned by joining specifically as a property manager franchisee with Pillow 10 years ago. Is it 10 years, Emma? That's a long time. Wow. It would be 2016, just so 10 years with this, managing properties, managing a large portfolio. So that's 10 years of on-the-job learning. So that's where bigger industry experience, but specific property management experience. That's a question you need to ask. That makes sense, guys? Any questions or comments, bang them in the chat and I'll bring them up on screen. Right. Remember, you might not even need a managing agent. It's only if they can deliver more value than the fees they charge. So some people say, hey, I can take that option if it's there, but I'm actually happy self-managing. We'll cover that at the, there we go, slides. Should you self-manage your own property, guys? That's a great question. So as we said at the start, I'm not here to convince you to use a managing agent or indeed my managing agency, but should you be self-managing? Here's some questions to ask yourself. A lot of that self-reflection. And again, this is taken in a bigger context, not just with you, but with your whole family. Because remember, if you're on call 24/7, if you're going to be doing the work here, it can affect your family. So it's a family decision or a couple's decision. So let's have a look at the questions you need to ask yourself. Do you enjoy it yourself? Do you enjoy doing this? Is the whole providing an amazing guest experience something you like? I jokingly say lots of landlords lots of buy-to-let investors shouldn't be service accommodation hosts because they're investors, they're property landlords. The buy-to-let landlords is different from being a service accommodation hospitality operator. So do you enjoy this? Is your personality made up for this? Is this something that you're going to find fun? Are you just going to hate every time a message comes through and dealing with inquiries, dealing with repairs? Because if you don't enjoy it, then that's not something that's going to make your life better. You're probably not going to save money doing this. So unless you enjoy it, get a little bit of fulfillment out of it, you would be better picking an agent. So if you love doing it, and by the way, you can be close, you can go and do it, you can put those touches, you don't trust anyone else as much as you trust yourself, but you love doing it, it gives you a little bit of fulfillment, makes you feel good, then that's a very good reason to keep managing it yourself. Number 2, do you have the experience and confidence? So is this just something you've jumped into and you want to just go and give it a go? Well, there's a big steep learning curve with service accommodation. If you get it wrong, you can lose lots of money. You're not going to get the bookings in. So by choosing to self-manage, what's the reason for that? Are you doing it to build up the experience and confidence as a part of your overall journey in education, to set up your own business one day, to manage your own units at a much larger scale? So if you don't have the experience and the confidence to be dealing with guests, to be phoning contractors, to be extending bookings, to be dealing with issues, to be going and kicking out guests who are causing hassle at your property, and you don't have any experience in this, then is it the right decision? But if it's something you want to gain the experience and the confidence, part of your education and self-development, that's a very good reason to manage your own property. Question number 3, are you local? Are you local? And do you have a power team? So are you managing your property nearby? Because that's nice and easy, because you can deal with any issues very quickly. As I say, our team across the UK, we have one near each property. So they're local and they build a power team. We'd mentioned Emma going to the networking tomorrow morning. A big part of that is to get direct bookings, contractors, etc. But it's also to build her power team, or contractors, or gardeners, or electricians, building that strong team that are there. If I take the bank holiday weekend, there was Storm Dave in Scotland, and an amber weather warning. It was a end of the world, apparently, according to the news. Well, anytime there's high wind or problems of these things, your contractors and tradespeople that are there aren't going to be making you a priority if you're just one person with one property. If they're super busy, are you going to be able to call these guys in, get them to prioritise your work? Are they reliable? Do you have all the contractors in place that you need? So are you locally able to deal with stuff yourself, like guests getting locked out? And do you have the team there locally that you can rely on to help you? And if you do, 2 good reasons there to manage a property yourself. Question 4, do you have the time and are you always available? Don't underestimate if you've got one property. Once you scale up to 2 and 3 guys, it becomes very onerous. You're a property manager. Do you have the time to do it? Are you okay just about to jump on date night and the phone rings and you need to cancel it? Are you okay on a Friday night about to sit and have a glass of wine, and then you have to go and sort stuff out because you've got a double booking? These things happen, guys, or they will happen over the space of your property management lifetime. I know this because we've been having date night. Emma and I had date night, and she used to jump away and do property stuff. And I think on over the bank holiday weekend, she went and bought plates. So are you there to provide that good level of service? And are you always going to be available? Or do you have a work and a career where you're not allowed your phone? You're going to have family time at the weekend. So if you have that time and you have that flexibility, that's a good reason to manage your own property. And the final one here, can you actually do it better than an agent? If you've got somebody 20 years experience in your local area, they've got all the best technology, they've got a team, they've got systems and procedures in place, could you do it better? Would you provide a better guest experience? And again, we've got a partnership service where the host does all the stuff locally themselves, and we do the bookings and the finance. So there's some ways to work around that, but could you provide a better service than the agent if you're on site and doing meet and greet with the guests and cleaning your own properties and making those properties amazing and getting fresh bread cooked and lemon drizzle cake so it smells amazing when they arrive? Chances are you will do that part better than an agent, the local part. And we have a partnership service for that. But guys, are you going to be able to get it on the forums, get it on the platforms, get the listings optimized? deal with everything, have better technology, get more direct bookings than an agent. If you can do everything better than any agent you've ever spoken to, then that is a good reason to manage your own property, guys. But I would say the chances of that happening is a very small percentage that you're going to be able to do this better than an agent. Remember, you need to factor your time into this as well. If you're paying an agent, but that percentage, it isn't just the monetary cost. What is your time worth per hour? So if we go back to, do you have the time? What do you earn a year in your salary? And what does that equate to on an hourly basis? What's your time worth on an hour? For example, my time is much better spent running Pillow than doing my own cleaning or doing my own gardening. I can pay a cleaner or a gardener because that might cost £20 an hour, but I could make £100 an hour working in Pillow. It would make no sense for me to be cutting my own grass or cleaning my own house when my time per hour is worth more delivering value to Pillow as a CEO. So, and I let the professionals deal with stuff that they do better than me. Cleaner's going to clean better than me, and a gardener's going to garden better than me. So, some stuff. Right, some red flags, guys. We're going to open it up for questions, and we'll give you the links to get you a free pack and book in calls with the team. Here's some red flags, things to look at. And again, these are all positive things. I just want to put some stuff that you need to look out for. There's lots of agents popping up. There's agents popping up every day, but there's also agents disappearing every day. So here's some red flags to look out for when you're filling in your little chart of the 3 different things. Here's some things to tag. They have their own units competing with you, as we covered this before. What's the chances of someone getting a £50,000 direct booking for the year and giving it to you and getting 10% management fees rather than putting it in their own unit and getting 100% of that? Are they going to leave their property empty to get 10% of that big direct booking? Or are they going to put it in their own property? I'm not saying either way, but this is something you need to at least explore. Do they have their own units competing with you, or are they exclusively managing agents? Is managing agents only a sideline to their coaching income? Lots of people doing this and thinking, hey, I've got all these students. Why don't we just set up a management business? There's a big jump from managing your own units to managing others. So is it just a sideline? Is it the principal business? Is there heart and soul in it? Is this just something that, hey, is synergistic to other businesses? Is management only a sideline to their cleaning company? So there's a joke between property managers and hosts that the cleaners are guaranteed to make money. The cleaners make more money than hosts in a lot of instances when they take all things into consideration. But they don't, because cleaners have lots of overheads. But that money comes off your statement to give to cleaners. Sometimes cleaners make more money than managing agents. So that's a thing. Watching, does your management company also do cleaning? Are they impartial when it comes to the cleaning? And is the management company the principal thing and the cleaning's a sideline to add value to you, which is totally fine? Or was it a big cleaning company and that's just a filter to get new cleaning company clients? Not necessarily a bad thing. I know loads of agents that are amazing. They had cleaning companies first. They did management as a sideline, and they offer fantastic services. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it may be something to look out for. There's amazing agents out there that do cleaning and by the way, for training as well. History of jumping from sector to sector. Is this something they're going to be in long term? Is this something they were in pre-lockdown and they're going to be here in 10 years? Or is it just something we'll try and use? Example, are they coaches? Are they doing crypto? It's a cleaning company. They're going to be doing training and mentoring next. Are they going to be jumping to be AI agents? Is this just something with the current trend? There's been a massive rise in SA management companies, certainly after lockdown. Lots more finishing every day than are starting now. So hopefully that will balance back out. But have they been in it long term? And are they going to be in it long term? Do they badmouth competitors and show poor character? This is a fun one. I put this in over the weekend. In the forums, lots of people always slagging their competitors. We get it all the time. Well, Pillow this and Pillow that. Horrifically bad character when you say, oh, what about this company? Oh, don't use them because of this. So historically for managing agents, when I did it many years ago, you'd always get 3 agents out. For estate agency and for property management, you get 3 agents out. We'd always ask, well, I've just had those guys in. What did you think? If the person is in bad mouthing and slagging and using those derogatory tactics, I see this as a massive red flag, and I see it's poor character. Happens all the time. You know, this person said this about that company. Just agents should have the professionalism not to be involved and just say, I can't, for us, I train my team, I can't comment on what they do, I can only comment on what we do. So great person, great company, I hear good things, whatever, but I can only comment what we do and allow you to make the decision on what is the best fit for you. So bad mouthing competitors, if you're speaking to somebody and you're speaking to two agents, one's impartial and the other one's be bitchy, and using those tactics to try and beat their competitors by sharing stuff and bad mouthing them, guys, I think that is a really red flag. It shows poor character of that person out there. Now, be aware that might just be the salesperson or the person that's doing the business development. That might not be the company. But guys, when you see and hear people slagging other agents, there's a certain professionalism in the industry where that's just not done by people that have been in it any length of time. Another one is how do they treat hosts and others online? See lots of posts slagging hosts in all the forums. Hosts are so stupid. Hosts should listen to me. Hosts don't do this. How do they treat other people online? Are they nice? Are they friendly? Are they nice people to do business with? Is it a good fit for you? So they're always going to be nice and decent to you, but how do they treat others online? Have a little look in the forums and seeing how they treat other hosts as well. So making that final decision, guys. So I wanted to just share things to look at, questions for you to ask agents, questions for you to ask yourself. But making that final decision there, guys, what's the best fit for you? That's what I just want you to think about. Take all those things into consideration. What's your gut feeling? We can be analytical in those things that we've just spoken about, all the different elements. You can fill out that editable PDF. Again, there's things along the bottom of the screen. But genuinely, get in where you fit in. Where do you think is the best fit for you? One could be a big, massive company with all the technology and all the best of gear and really impressive marketing. The other could be somebody brand new, but you feel that person is going to work harder for you. The other person could be young and inexperienced, but you genuinely think that person is the right fit for you and your property. So it isn't about size, it isn't about numbers. And again, I'm saying we used to be massive, and that was not a good thing for us. And we're a much, much better company at half the size and we were double the size. So pick who is right for you. The person managing your property, do they understand what you need and want? Maybe the company's too small, maybe the company's too big. It's just somebody that actually gets you and you get. So who do you feel more at home with? That's what I always say. That's why I put the thing on about slide, coming in and meeting people, the thing about the office. Can you meet these people? Can you see them? Having video calls. Who do you get the best feel for? Who's your best business partner is the way I want you to approach it. Not about price. None of these questions here, guys, were about price, because I see that as the least important thing. There'll be people charging 20%. People charging 10%. There's reasons people would charge 10%, and there's reasons why people would be charging 20%. If you factor in everything there, if we just look at price, well, that makes it a race to the bottom. People will always undercut other people, and it just becomes people are managing properties for 5%, and it's not worth their time. Your property doesn't make money because it doesn't make them money. So price is the least important thing, but price comes at the end when you factored in all of those things we spoke about in the editable PDF, and then you can ask the price and say, well, actually, it's clear there's more value in that one. They happen to be double the price, but that's the best agent. So pick the one that feels the best, all things considered. So guys, we're coming to the end. If there's no questions, you can get an agent comparison guide by emailing us over. Just put agent comparison guide at hosts@pillowpartners.co.uk. If you wanted to speak to one of our team, you can speak to one of the local property managers. I know you can't do the QR code. That's just a picture of an exhibition we were at last week. But guys, just email, call, or consultation to hosts@pillowpartners.co.uk, and you can get those free resources. An editable PDF you can just download, keep on your laptop. You can print it out and write it in. But should you ever need an agent in the future, I think that's a very good tool that I've made. So guys, questions or comments? I've done this during the day at short notice. We're doing it live across Facebook, so I know it's lunchtime. I know it's time when people are working. So if you have any questions or comments, guys, and you're watching this back on any replay, or you're catching it a little bit later before I cut it off in a few minutes, just email over any questions you have to hosts@pillowpartners.co.uk. And I want to thank you for watching this and your time today. Guys, picking an agent, as we said, isn't all about big numbers, fancy marketing, sales, experience in the industry. It's who's right for you. I remember 20 odd years when I started. I worked from my council house. I didn't have any marketing. And my first landlords believed in me when I didn't have anything. I had no properties. And my first landlords believed in me and said, Scott, you're going to work harder for me because you're new and you have no experience, and I just like you. I want to help you build your business, and I like you as a person. I like you better than these big companies that have had 20, 30 years experience. So that was an amazing opportunity I got, and that might be the right business fit for you. It might be a big important asset. You say, well, I can do that with my buy-to-let property, but I can't take that risk with my SA property. I just want it running. Or guys, if you're doing rent to rent, you need that running and getting the income as soon as possible. You can't take those chances. But if it's your own holiday, you might just resonate more with the right people. So guys, thank you very much. If you have any questions after this, email us at hosts@pillowpartners.co.uk. And if you're watching the replay, comment under here. And if it's a nice big question, I will do a video and get back to you. Thank you for joining me. Have a fantastic day. Cheers.